What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the poker vlog. I'm currently in my old neighborhood. This is where I grew up. This is my childhood. So yes, I'm back in Toronto, and yes, of course, I gotta dress a bit warmer. It's not that warm yet. You guys requested this one, so I delivered it. Every single hand that I play within this session is gonna be shared and gone over an analysis with you guys. I played 2 hours at the 2-5 no limit, and I played 2 hours at the 5-10. So it's gonna be a mix of both. I'm not gonna be doing every single hand videos too often because it was a lot of work. Every single hand that I played, I was trying to write down and then keep the camera out for next hand. And then there's a couple hands where I had to remember. Anyways, I need a new strategy for writing down hands. That's one thing. But another thing is it's a very difficult session to record. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you back a month ago in the past at the Florida tables. See you there. We're playing 7-handed at the moment. Under the gun opens to $20. It's on me and +1 with pocket 9s. I can go a few different routes here. I can flat, I could fold, or I can 3-bet. To a larger opening size, I should probably just be folding, but in live games, I like to take the more aggressive route, so I bump it up to $65. It's on the big blind player, and he cold 4-bets to $200, so it looks like we're done with this hand. But we're even more done when under the gun goes to 425 with the massive 5-bet. So obviously I make the fold. It goes to showdown eventually. Under the gun had pocket jacks and big blind had pocket kings. So I add $100 to my stack and keep the ball rolling. The next hand, there's a button straddle, and I'm in the big blind with queen jack offsuit and make the fold. I added this in because, again, I'm showing every single hand that I played, and I think this is slightly important because a lot of people would either flat the $5 here because they only need to complete $5 more to make 10, or they'd raise themselves, but this hand is just not strong enough to play from this position. 2 players limp to me, and they've been playing pretty snug, pretty passive, pretty straightforward, but so have I so far. I have a tight image. I have Jack 8 offsuit, and I decide to bump it up to $40. Why? Well, there's a dead $17 in the middle right now, and I think I can take it down often enough to make this profitable in this spot, given that these guys don't know how wide I'm getting here. But we end up getting called from the big blind player, and so we're going to go heads up to a flop. It comes out king of diamonds, 10 of clubs, and the 3 of clubs, so flush draw board. He checks it over to me, and I'm going to go for a small bet here to try to get him to fold hands like maybe all his suited aces between ace 4 suited and ace 9 suited. Hands like that. He ends up making the call though. The turn comes out the 8 of clubs, so I hit a pair, and now I don't see any merit in betting, especially when he checks to me, so I check it back. The river's the 6 of clubs. He checks it over to me again, and I go for a bet of $40 to try to get him to fold any of his king X, 10X, hands like that, but he ends up making the call with pocket queens, no club. So I guess I should have went a bit bigger here. I'm in the cutoff here with king queen offsuit. Hijack opens to $15. I 3-bet to $50, and he makes a call. The flop comes out ace, deuce, 6, rainbow. He checks, I go for a c-bet of $30, and he makes the fold. I open ace 4 suited from the low jack to $20. Button player makes the call, so we're headed off to a flop. Queen of hearts, 8 of hearts, 5 of spades. Being out of position in these spots, I'm going to do a lot of checking, and this is one of those hands, so I check it over to him and he checks it back. The turn comes out and it's a deuce of diamonds. I go for another check here. I could definitely bet, and he would probably fold hands like pocket 6s and under, and he'd probably fold some ace highs that I'm losing to. So a bet here is fine, but again, I decide to go for the check, and he checks it back. Headed off to a river, and it comes out the 8 of clubs. I check it over to him again, given that I think I can just win at showdown enough here. And he checks it back, and we do win versus king 10 offsuit. Alright, moving right along. I've got pocket 4s in the hijack. Under the gun player is someone who I want to play pots with. He limps, +1 makes it $20. The action's on me, and I should be making the fold here, but there's a couple things to consider. One is that I want to play pots with the under the gun player, and 2 is that other players aren't going to 3-bet enough behind me, so flatting here is perfectly fine. $20 is a slightly bigger size that I wouldn't be flatting small pairs to as much, but since we're playing over 150 big blinds deep, that's another reason why I could flat here too. So I make the call, and under the gun makes the call as well. So 3 ways headed to a flop. It comes out the jack of spades, queen of diamonds, 7 of spades. +1 bets $35, I make the fold. Alright, I'm in the small blind with pocket 9s. Under the gun limps, low jack makes it $15, button calls, and the action's on me. In these spots with pocket 9s, calling seems like the traditional standard route, but I think squeezing here performs really well. Why? Because recreational players love to put you on ace-king and just big overcards when you squeeze, which makes them fold a bunch of hands like king-jack, king-10, king-queen, queen-jack. They fold all their overcards, and they start calling too often with low pocket pairs and suited connectors. And my hand dominates that. So I make it $85, and they all end up folding. All right, this is going to be the last hand at 2-5. I have king-jack offsuit in the hijack, and I open at $20. Button makes the call. We're heads up, headed to a flop. It comes out ace, ace, 6, 2 hearts, 1 spade. I go for a c-bet of $15, but he just makes the fold. That's going to wrap up our 2-5 session. I lost a total of $60. Now we're headed to 5-10. The first hand that I play, I have king-queen offsuit and open to $60 from the cutoff. Small blind makes it $250. The straddle goes to $1,000. Obviously, I fold. And the kid who went to 1,000 ends up showing king-9 offsuit for the bluff. Interesting very first hand played at the table. I had $200 and now I'm in for a total of $2,300. We play a bomb pot and I end up losing $300. So we're not moving in the right direction so far. But the next hand, I'm in the big blind with ace-4 offsuit and I raise it up to $80 as it folds to me. The straddle goes to $275 for the 3-bet. Obviously I make the fold. Next hand, I have pocket 2s in the big blind. I raise it up to $80. The straddle makes the call. The flop comes out pretty good. We hit a deuce. It's a deuce of clubs, 3 of spades, 9 of spades. I bet $60, but he just makes the fold. Pretty unfortunate. I have ace-5 of clubs in the small blind. Button raises to 60. I 3-bet to $250. He makes the call, and we're headed to a flop. It comes out ace-queen-9 rainbow. I go for a c-bet of $150. He makes the call. The turn comes out the 4. I now check, as I'm going to be checking quite often now, given that I range bet the flop, and I can even be checking hands here like ace-jack. He checks it back. The river's a brick, it's a 7. This is now a spot where I can probably put out a bet, but I assume that this player doesn't think that I have enough bluffs here if I bet, so I just go for the check, hoping that he tries to rep an ace himself, but he checks it back, and I end up winning. I think I definitely should have went for a bet here, maybe 2/3 the size of the pot. I have ace-jack on the button, and open to $60. The straddle player makes a call. We're headed off to a flop. Queen of diamonds, 8 of hearts, deuce of diamonds. He checks it over to me, and I go for a c-bet of $50. He ends up check raising to $175, which is a pretty big size here. And when players like to check raise on boards that they're not going to have too much value, think about his value range here. It's going to be pocket 8s, pocket deuces, and queen 8 suited, which is only 2 combos left. And he's probably going to be 3-betting that sometimes pre-flop if he studied pre-flop charts. With my hand here, I think it's just a fold. But let's say I had a hand like 9-10 or something with equity, maybe even 8, like 7-8 suited, 6-8 suited, 8-9. I might even go for the re-raise here to like $400. But unfortunately, we don't have a hand to do that with, so we're just going to give him the pot here. I think it's an overbluff spot, but that's okay. I'm in the small blind here and raise it up to $80 with ace-3 suited. Big blind makes the call and so does the straddle. 3 ways headed to a flop. It comes out the ace of hearts, 6 of clubs, 7 of hearts. This is a board that's going to favor them. I know what you're thinking. It's an ace-high board. It's going to favor you. You have more ace-king, ace-queen. But their range is more condensed to lower suited aces, lower pocket pairs, lower suited connectors. So they're going to connect with this board pretty often, especially when I'm out of position here against 2 players. So I check, but they all check. Headed off to a turn, and it's the 9 of diamonds. I now think my hand is strong enough to go for a bet, given they both checked on the flop. So I bet $200, and it's only the straddle that makes the call. The river comes out, and it's a perfect card. It's a 3 of spades. The action's on me, and my line, I can definitely have some bluffs here, and I think that this player can potentially have a decent amount of bluff catchers. So I go for the jam, but he ends up making the fold. We play another bomb pot where I get involved in the action, and I end up winning $150 from it. I'm in the small blind with ace-5 suited, and I decide to limp for $25. I'm also going to be limping hands from here like ace-king, aces, and kings at a very small frequency, and I'm going to be balancing it with my ace-5 suited as a bluff sometimes. Big blind limps as well, but the straddle's not scared of our limps, and he ISOs here to $125. The action's back on me, and I'm going to be doing a re-raise here, hoping to take down the pot often enough. I go to $375, and it's only the straddle that makes the call. Head off to a flop, and it comes out the king of diamonds, the 10 of clubs, and the 7 of diamonds. This is now an interesting spot. Again, I'm going to hit this board decently often with my pocket kings, ace king, and aces when I choose this spot. So when I have a hand like ace 5 suited, I should probably just be c-betting here. But I want to play this even more tricky, and I actually feel like if I check here, he could put me on more showdown value more often, instead of just random air. So I check with plans to maybe bet the turn depending on what the card is. He checks it back, we are headed to a turn, and it comes out the 6 of diamonds. This is a pretty awful card for us. I don't have any diamonds in my hand. I decide to check this card once more, and he checks it back. So he must have some sort of showdown value as well, or maybe he's scared that I'm trapping. The river comes out the 8 of spades. This is super unfortunate because I was gonna blast the river. Obviously, I have to, right? If it's like a brick or whatever. Even if it's like a board pairing card, I'm probably gonna bet. This is probably one of the worst cards. It hits his check back range that has showdown value, like pocket 9s, maybe even some 8-9, some 7-8, some 10-8 potentially. Yeah, it's just no good. I check, and he checks it back, and I lose. And that's going to wrap up our 5-10-25 session. Stay tuned for the afterthoughts. So that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was informational. I know it wasn't a super long every single hand analysis video, but I still feel like there are a lot of key spots to go over. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, all I need is one of you guys, just one, that's all I ask, to hit that subscribe button, give me a like, drop a comment of maybe your favorite place to play, maybe the hand that you enjoyed the most in the video, or maybe the hand that you didn't like the most in the video that I should have played differently. So Mother's Day just passed. It's currently May 14th. That session was filmed on April 12th. And we all love this game. We all come here to enjoy it together, whether it's watching videos, playing at the tables. If you're going to play a session today, I wish you the best of luck, especially because I'm not there. Happy grinding.